My name is Nora. I am 32 years old. We built a home together. Then I found his messages to her. This is my story. It is a sad story, but it is a true story. And maybe, just maybe, it can help you. 2. My life with Leo was simple. It was happy. We met when I was 25. He was funny. He made me laugh all the time. His eyes were kind. When he looked at me, I felt safe. I felt loved. We were best friends. We were partners. We did not have much money. We both worked hard. I worked in a small bakery. I loved the smell of fresh bread in the morning. Leo worked in construction. He was strong. His hands were rough, but his touch was gentle. After 3 years, we saved enough money. We bought a small house. It was not a big house. It was not a fancy house, but it was our house. It was our home. We were so proud. I remember the day we got the keys. We opened the door. The rooms were empty. The walls were white. We stood in the middle of the living room and we hugged. Leo spun me around. I laughed so hard. He said, "Nora, we did it. This is our forever home." I believed him. I really did. We spent every weekend making it beautiful. We painted the walls a soft yellow. Yellow is a happy color. I always say we bought old furniture from a small shop. We fixed it together. Leo was good with wood. I was good with paint. We were a good team. We planted a garden in the backyard. I love flowers. We planted roses and sunflowers. Leo built a small bench. We would sit there in the evenings. We would drink tea. We would talk about our day. We talked about our dreams. Our dream was simple. We wanted a family. We wanted 2 children, a boy and a girl. We even picked out names. We wanted a dog, a big fluffy dog. We wanted a life full of love and laughter. It felt so close. It felt so real. Our life had a rhythm. It was a comfortable rhythm. In the mornings, I would wake up early. I would make coffee. The smell of coffee filled our small kitchen. Leo would come downstairs. He would wrap his arms around me from behind. He would kiss my neck. He would say, "Good morning, my love." We would eat breakfast together. We would talk about small things, the weather, the news, our plans for the day. Then he would go to work. I would go to work. At the end of the day, we would come home. We would come home to each other. Some nights we cooked dinner together. We would put on music. We would dance in the kitchen. He was not a good dancer. I was not a good dancer, but it did not matter. We were happy. Other nights we were tired. We would order pizza. We would sit on the sofa. We would watch a movie. I would rest my head on his shoulder. His arm would be around me. I felt like nothing could ever go wrong. I felt so safe in our little yellow house, but sometimes life is not what you think. Sometimes things change and you do not see it coming. It started slowly, so slowly I did not notice at first. Leo started working late. He said there was a big project at work. I believed him. He was a hard worker. I was proud of him. He would come home tired. He would eat dinner quietly. Then he would go to sleep. We stopped talking as much. We stopped dancing in the kitchen. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself it was just because of work. Then he started to be careful with his phone. His phone was always with him. It was always face down on the table before he would leave it anywhere. I never looked at his phone. I trusted him. Trust was the foundation of our home. It was the foundation of our love. One night he was in the shower. His phone was on the bedside table. It buzzed. The screen lit up. I did not mean to look. I really did not. But I saw her name and I saw a heart emoji. My own heart stopped. It felt like a stone dropped in my stomach. Who was she? Why was she sending him a heart? My hands were shaking. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe it was his sister. Maybe it was a friend. But a part of me knew, a deep, cold part of me knew it was not nothing. I did not say anything. That night, I pretended I was asleep. When he came out of the shower, I felt his weight on the bed. He did not kiss me good night. He just turned his back and slept. I lay awake all night. My mind was racing. Who was she? The next few days were torture. I watched him. I watched every little thing. The way he smiled at his phone. The way he would go into another room to take a call. The house did not feel happy anymore. It felt heavy. It was full of secrets. I wanted to ask him. I wanted to scream at him, but I was scared. I was so scared of the answer. What if my happy life was all a lie? What if our home was built on sand? Week later, I found out the truth. It was a Saturday. We were supposed to go to the market together. We always went to the market on Saturdays, but he said he had to work. Again, he left early in the morning. I felt so empty. The yellow walls of our house felt cold. I started cleaning. I needed to do something with my hands. I needed to feel busy. I was cleaning our bedroom. His work pants were on a chair. I picked them up to put them in the laundry. His wallet fell out, and a small piece of paper fell out with it. It was a receipt from a restaurant, a fancy restaurant we had never been to. It was from the night before. The night he said he worked late. The receipt was for 2 people. My breath caught in my throat. I looked closer. It was not just food. There was a bottle of expensive wine, 2 desserts, 2 coffees. He had a romantic dinner with someone. And it was not me. I felt dizzy. I had to sit on the bed. I felt sick. This was real. This was happening. It was not just in my head. I don't know why I did it. I never did things like this. But I went to his laptop. It was on his desk. He was always so careful to close it, but this time it was open. His message app was open, and there it was, her name, the same name I saw on his phone. There were messages, so many messages. I started to read. Each word was a knife in my heart. I miss you, he wrote to her. I can't wait to see you tonight, she wrote back. Last night was amazing, he wrote. You are so beautiful, he wrote. He told her things he used to tell me. He called her the same pet names he called me. My love, my angel. I scrolled up. There were months of messages, pictures of them together. They were smiling. They were at the park. They were at a cafe. They were living a whole other life, a secret life. Then I found the worst part. He sent her a picture of the bench, our garden, the bench he built for us. He wrote to her, one day we will sit here together. I felt like I could not breathe. Our bench, our garden, our home, it was all a lie. He was bringing his secret life into our home, the home we built together. I closed the laptop. I was calm. It was a strange, cold calm. The shaking stopped. The sickness in my stomach was gone. There was just a big, empty hole in my chest. I stood up. I walked through our house, our yellow house. I looked at the furniture we fixed together. I looked at the photos on the wall, photos of us smiling, happy. It was all a lie. I did not cry, not yet. I just felt nothing. It was like my feelings were turned off. I made a pot of coffee. I sat at our kitchen table and I waited. I waited for him to come home. He came home around 6:00. He walked in smiling. He was holding a small bag. I'm sorry I had to work, my love, he said. I brought you your favorite pastry. He put the bag on the table. He leaned in to kiss me. I turned my head. He kissed my cheek. He looked confused. Is everything okay, Nora? He asked. I looked at him. I looked into his kind eyes, but now they did not look kind. They looked like the eyes of a stranger. Who is she, Leo? I asked. My voice was quiet. It did not sound like my voice. His face changed. The smile was gone. The confusion was gone. There was fear in his eyes. What are you talking about? He said. Don't lie to me, I said. My voice was a little stronger. Now I saw the messages. I saw the pictures. I saw everything. He sat down heavily in the chair across from me. He did not look at me. He looked at his hands on the table, our table. The silence was so loud. It filled the whole kitchen. It filled the whole house. I'm sorry, he whispered. He did not say anything else, just those two words. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry for lying. Sorry for cheating. Sorry for breaking my heart. Sorry for destroying our home. Why? I asked. It was the only question I had. Why, Leo? Was I not enough? Was our life not enough? He finally looked at me. There were tears in his eyes. It's not you, Nora, it's me. I'm a mess. I got confused. Confused. He got confused. How can you get confused and have a secret life for months? How can you get confused and tell another woman you love her? I love you, he said to me. I always loved you. That was the moment the anger came. It was a hot, burning fire in my chest. No, I said, you don't love me. You don't know what love is. Love is not a secret. Love is not a lie. Love is not pain. I stood up. I want you to leave, I said. He looked shocked. Nora, no, we can fix this. Please don't. Throw this away. Throw this away, I said. My voice was loud now. I was almost shouting. You threw this away. You threw it away. Every time you lied to me. Every time you were with her. This home is broken. You broke it. He started to cry. Big, loud sobs. I had never seen him cry like that. A part of me felt sad for him, but a bigger part of me felt nothing but cold, hard anger. Pack your bags, I said. I want you to leave now. He did not argue anymore. He went upstairs. I heard him opening drawers. I heard him packing a bag. I just stood in the kitchen. I did not move. I stared at the yellow walls, the happy color. It felt like a joke. He came downstairs with a small bag. He stopped at the door. Nora, he said, please. I just shook my head. I could not look at him. If I looked at him, I might break. He opened the door. He walked out and he closed the door behind him. And then I broke. The calm was gone. The anger was gone. There was only pain. A pain so big I thought it would kill me. I slid down to the floor. I put my head in my hands and I cried. I cried for my lost love. I cried for my broken home. I cried for the future we would never have. The first few weeks were a blur. I did not go to work. I could not get out of bed. The house was so quiet, too quiet. Every corner held a memory. The kitchen where we danced, the sofa where we watched movies, the garden where we planned our future. It all hurt. Everything hurt. I did not eat. I did not sleep. I just lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. Sometimes I cried. Sometimes I just felt empty, numb. My friend Clara came over. She brought me food. I did not eat it. She sat on my bed. She held my hand. She did not say much. She just sat with me. I was grateful for that. I did not want to talk. There were no words for this feeling. It will get better, Nora, she said one day. I promise. I did not believe her. How could it get better? My life was over. The life I knew was over. One morning, I woke up and the sun was shining. It was shining on the yellow walls of my bedroom. For a moment, I forgot. I thought Leo was beside me. I reached for him, but the space was empty. It was cold. And then I remembered, and the pain came back fresh and sharp. I decided I could not stay in that bed anymore. I got up, I took a shower, I got dressed. I walked into the kitchen. The pastry he brought me was still on the table. It was hard and old. I threw it in the trash. I threw away everything that reminded me of him. It was hard, so hard. I found an old t-shirt of his in the laundry. It still smelled like him. I held it to my face and I cried. But then I put it in a bag with all his other things. I put the bag in the garage. I would deal with it later. I started with small things. I went for a walk. The air was fresh. The sun was warm on my skin. I saw people laughing in the park. It felt strange. How could the world be normal when my world was falling apart? I went back to work at the bakery. My boss was very kind. She told me to take my time. My coworkers were nice. They gave me sad smiles. They did not ask questions. I was glad working helped. It kept my hands busy. It kept my mind busy. I kneaded dough. I shaped bread. I decorated cakes. For a few hours a day, I could forget. But the nights were the hardest. The house was so empty, so lonely. I would eat dinner alone at our big kitchen table. I would watch TV alone on our big sofa. I would sleep alone in our big bed. Everything felt too big for just one person. I thought about selling the house. I could not stand the memories. But then I thought, no, this is my house. I worked for this house. I painted these walls. I planted this garden. Why should I leave? He was the one who broke our home. I was the one who would rebuild it. So I started to change things. I painted the bedroom walls a calm blue. I bought new sheets for the bed. Sheets that did not smell like him. I moved the furniture around in the living room. I wanted it to look different. I wanted it to feel like my space, not our space. I spent a lot of time in the garden. I pulled out the weeds. I planted new flowers. I took care of the roses and the sunflowers. One day I was sitting on the bench. Our bench. I thought about what he wrote to her. One day we will sit here together. Tears came to my eyes, but they were not just sad tears. They were angry tears. This was my bench. I would not let him ruin it for me. I would sit on this bench, and I would heal. Healing is not easy. It is not a straight line. Some days were good. I would wake up and feel a little bit lighter. I would laugh with my friend Clara. I would enjoy the taste of my coffee. I would feel a small spark of hope. But some days were bad. A song on the radio would remind me of him. I would see a couple holding hands on the street, and the pain would come back as strong as ever. On those days, I allowed myself to be sad. I would cry. I would write in my journal. I would talk to Clara. It's okay to feel sad. It is part of healing. One evening, my mother called. She knew. What happened? She said, Nora, my dear, betrayal is a deep wound. It takes time to heal, but you are strong. You have a good heart. You will love again. I did not want to think about love. The idea of trusting someone again felt impossible. How can you give your heart to someone when you know it can be broken so easily? But I started to focus on myself. I started to find joy in small things. The smell of rain, a good book, a warm bath. I started to learn who I was without him. I was not just Nora, Leo's partner. I was Nora, just Nora. And that was okay. I started a painting class. I was not very good at first. My paintings were messy, but I loved it. I loved the feeling of the brush in my hand. I loved the bright colors. I painted flowers from my garden. I painted the sunrise. I painted my feelings. 6 months passed. A year passed. The pain was still there, but it was different. It was not a sharp, constant pain anymore. It was more like a scar that reminded me of what I had been through, a scar that reminded me of my own strength. I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I am stronger than I thought. I learned that I can be alone, but not lonely. I learned that I can create my own happiness. My little yellow house started to feel like a happy home again. It was filled with my paintings. It was filled with my music. It was filled with the smell of my baking. It was my home, a safe place that I built for myself. One day I got a letter in the mail. It was from him. My hands shook as I opened. It was a long letter. He said he was sorry. He said he made the biggest mistake of his life. He said he was in therapy. He asked if we could talk. I read the letter. I folded it and I put it in a drawer. I did not reply. Maybe he was sorry. Maybe he had changed. But I had changed too. I had walked through the fire of betrayal, and I had come out stronger. I did not want to go back. The pain of betrayal is real. It is a deep, dark valley. It feels like you will never see the sun again, but you will. Slowly, one step at a time, you climb out of the valley. You find your way back to the light. My name is Nora. I am 33 years old now. I live in a small, yellow house. I have a beautiful garden. I am a baker. I am a painter. I am a friend. I am a daughter. My life is not the life I dreamed of with him. It is a different life. It is my life, and it is a good life. If you are hurting right now, please know this. You are not alone. Your pain is real, and it is okay to feel it, but also know that you are strong, you are brave, you will heal. It takes time. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You can do this. You can build a new home, a new life for yourself. And one day you will realize that the sun is shining just for you.